Good morning, guys. Wlso Season 4, Episode 263. It is Friday morning. It is a very cold Friday morning, actually. It's, considering lately it's been in the 40s, now we're down into the mid-30s outside. High today is going to be 55, so continuing the downward slope on temperature. It's too dark to tell what the sky looks like, but I think it's probably cloudy today. And we are heading to the office to do our normal Friday check-in so we can go make some money. Today's going to be a little bit different of a day in that we may be doing some new stuff today. Still going back and forth and negotiating, talking to some people about a project I may be working on. So we'll see what happens with that. Let's hope that works out. That would be beneficial for everybody. Yesterday was an okay day. We made a little bit over $1,000. Although later on, as I was talking to a friend of mine, I found out that the call I made on that hand was a terrible call. And although I won, in the long term, I would not win. So I need to focus on improving myself in that sense. Also, last night I placed that football bet, and I had both sides, and I had a middle where I could win both bets. But no matter which team, it was like the perfect situation. No matter which team won, I was going to make money. It wasn't a huge amount of money, but I made a profit of $59. So again, learning how the process works, learning what to do, and I believe DraftKings was the one that gave me the option of buying out the bet. So at the beginning, it was like I'm going to buy it out for 90% of what I placed the bet for, so I would lose money even though they were covering. And then as we got closer to the end of the game, obviously the offer goes up. But all that worked out, so I'm pleased about that and still very excited about learning more about it. I tried to set up another account, two of them. One of them I got blocked completely because the owner of that casino, I'm banned from one of their locations, so it blocked me from opening an account. So that's kind of interesting because it doesn't really make sense. This is a whole different thing than a land account, but it's different than being in a casino playing blackjack, but I accept it, it's fine. The other one says that I already have an account, so maybe I opened one up 20 years ago or something, but it has the wrong phone number, so I'm supposed to talk to somebody from customer service to get that fixed so I can start placing bets on that. So that's interesting. Today, like I said, we're going to go stop by the office first. We're going to get checked in. We're going to leave for the day. We're going to drive a couple hundred miles, and we'll need to stop for some gas. And then we'll need to stop again for a team meeting, which this one's going to be a longer one because the manager wants to review a bunch of stuff and guidelines and things that we set. So that one will be nice and boring. I may even be able to drive while I'm doing that. I'm not sure. We'll see. Yesterday, the meeting on my way home, I did that while I was driving, and with the noise-canceling headphones, they couldn't tell, or they didn't say that they could tell. So I think as long as I'm not going through a region where I don't have a good signal, I think I'm probably going to be okay there. So anyway, this nice, cool morning, heading out to the office, and I'll be back to update you. Alright guys, I am back, still on my way to the first casino. It's been about an hour and a half. It is a cloudy day today. Traffic is a little bit light today, but I've seen a lot of police on the roads. I don't know what's going on there. I did go to the office, checked in, and we are heading to our first casino. Probably going to stop for gas here in a little while, and then we'll pull over again for our meeting. And yeah, we'll see. I'm hoping some new stuff happens today that I've never done before. If we can work it all out, work out all the details. I'm just waiting for some replies. And here's a good update for you. the two big cracks in my windshield have now met each other. So now a third of my windshield could like break away, you could say, I don't know. So actually that reminds me, here in a few minutes I'll probably contact a couple companies and schedule someone to come out and replace that for me. So anyway, like I said, it's a dry roads, cloudy day, light traffic. I'll be back. Alright guys, so I just got a price from this cheap windshield replacement place. They'll come to you and they'll take care of it for you, and the price is $289 to replace the windshield, and so it's like no-brainer. However, I am waiting for a reply back from one other person who was referred to me by the guy who sold me this car, so we'll see what he says, but I'm pretty sure the $289 is going to be pretty hard to beat, and he can do it anytime. So as soon as I hear back from this guy, we'll probably schedule it for Monday, have him come to my workplace and take care of it, and we should be good to go from there. So I just don't want to drive around with this much broken area on my windshield. So it's now on the driver's side as well, so it'll be all the way across the windshield probably in the next week or so. That's a little bit too dangerous. So yeah, so skies are clearing up a little bit, brightening up a little bit, and we have another 20 minutes before our meeting starts, and I'll be back. Alright guys, I'm back. Finished up, so I pulled over for the meeting. I was about 30 minutes away from my first stop, and I got a little small talk out of the way, and then put it on mute and continued on my trip. Got all the way to the casino before they asked me to say anything else. Got in the parking garage, turned the car off, and was able to talk to him for a minute, and then came in, made one big play on a slot machine right away, and ended up breaking even on that. Actually, I lost on that one and broke even on the next one. So I'm right at even right now. I'm on the list for PLO. I'll be back. Alright guys, I am back. It is 4.5 hours after I got here. You know what? That crack is getting bigger. I gotta send the serial number of this car to the guy. He says he could do it for $250. The other people wanted $289, and they were gonna charge $30 to come to you. He'll do it for flat $250, but he wants to verify exactly which windshield it is before he commits to that. So anyway, crazy sessions, aggravating, slow. It really was really slow. I walk in, I look at some slots first and don't find anything to play. And then it's like my family's having movie night. Halloween Town High. You guys ever heard of that? I never heard of that, but looks like that's what my family's going to watch tonight, because I'm not going to be there, because I'm going to remain here. Alright, we'll start from the beginning. Slots, nothing. I went back and put my name on the list for poker for Pot Limit Omaha, and actually I did better. I stayed a little bit longer, and I got a couple tips last night from a friend of mine, and it paid off. So I ended up playing for about 40 minutes because I actually hit right away. I had a 4, 5, 6, 7 double suited, and the board had a 4 and a 6 on it, and I had a straight draw also, and then the turn was another 6, so I had a full house. So it was good. I ended up ahead 470. That hand put me ahead like 380. I continued playing for a while longer, and I ended up ahead 470. So 470 there. I get out of that, and all these guys I know are all wrapped up with something. There's 5 of them split this play on a machine, and it was a $40 per spin play, and one of them wanted half of it. and then one of his family members and 3 other people split the other half. So he had $20 a spin, and they each had $5 a spin. And and they actually took this way too early. I understand that, you know, you can take things a little early sometimes on higher denominations. I would never have done it. I wouldn't have even gone as a partner in there. But for each $5 that you were playing, they each ended up with $775 profit. So what's that? 1553. So they made 6,000 profit on there. I would have never made it because that was a bad play, and they actually hit for 10,000 on one of the first spins, and then they lost 4,000 back finishing it up. So whatever. I just gotta stay tight and do the right things. Then I went back and played poker again. I hung around forever and couldn't find any more slot plays, and I know, you know, I got some stuff going on later, so I went and played a 1-3 no limit table, and that was slow as molasses. And there were young people on this table, and nobody was raising. Anyone raised anything, everyone was folding. You're going to get a pot of $4 minus $1, or I mean, you got to bet minimum, and someone's going to catch up with you. So it was not good. I ended up actually losing 200 on that table. I had pocket jacks, and someone had raised to 10, someone made it 40. I went all in. At that point I had like 130 left in front of me, and he called me with pocket 9s, and he flops a 9. Nothing I could do about that. Should I have pushed that much on that? Yeah, you know, I would say by the book, probably no, because if I'm saying that they're tight, then they're only going to call me if they have me beat. But I really thought that they were going to fold. When he called me, I thought he had ace king or something. This guy was really pretty much the loosest guy on the table, and whatever. So ended up losing 200 there. Went back to slots and played for a while again, and found a few more plays, and ended that session ahead $203, and then walked around forever again and found some more plays and ended up ahead $70, and then I was about done at that point. I was up, what, 473 at that point? No, 543 at that point, and I was like, that's it. I went to cash out my voucher and was not happy when 3 machines in a row were not working. So I ended up going to another area, cashing out my ticket, and then I was leaving and I saw a play and I played it, and I won $20. And then I was leaving, like 2 steps away from the kiosk, I found $1 in the machine, cashed that out, and then I was leaving. Okay, that's it, I'm out of here, I'm going. And then I see a reflection, I'm like, wait a minute. And I look and I see 2 plays on a machine at bottom and second lowest bet amount, and played those and ended up ahead another 23. So whatever that all equals, 543, 563, 583, 587, only up 587. And it's the end of the day, man. It's like, it was, and I know I can't play blackjack here unless it's evening, and I'm going to stick around till evening and try to get at least 1 blackjack session in. Also going to be doing some other stuff that I'm working on. Hopefully that pans out. Right now I'm not seeing what I need to see come in, so it doesn't look like it's going to happen. It would be disappointing, but you know, we'll see about that. So at this point I'm going to go get some food. It's 4 in the afternoon. I'm going to get some food, and then we'll probably head back to that same spot for a little while longer, and then hopefully hear some word back from some people that I've been waiting for. So that's what's going on right now, and I'll be back to update you soon. Real quick here, I just want to say, what a boring day. I mean, I bought 1,000 in chips to play poker, to play pot limit. It was only in for one buy-in. I bought 400 to play 1-3 no limit. Was only in for one buy-in because it was so aggravating. I actually was going to leave halfway through that session. I was down like $30 and put myself back on the pot limit Omaha because it had been a couple hours and I could have done it. But out of pocket, I took 1,000 out of my pocket, but the deepest I was today was probably $300. So yeah, not too healthy, not a lot of options. And then I did get an opportunity to split another play other than the one those guys were playing that was almost as bad. That one was at, I think it was only $2.50 a play. What am I going to get, 80 cents of that? So it wasn't a good play anyway. I wouldn't have done it, but they offered it and I said no. So looks like traffic's pretty bad out here right now. Got the heat on in the car for once. Usually I'm burning up because I'm running around. I got a lot of steps in so far today. I got 6,400 steps in. Not bad. 52 degrees right now. I was leaving the elevator and this couple was in the elevator with me and they're like, smells like weed around here in this elevator. And I said, the whole city smells like it. And they were laughing. I'm like, it's not that funny. They're laughing and laughing and laughing. I'm like, wow. I didn't realize that joke was that good, but I guess you guys really enjoyed it. So, checking everything here at the car. Email looks good. Nothing really to do. Only an hour of work left before I can shut off the laptop. So, anyway. Yep, that's it for now. I'll be back. Alright guys, just enjoying the quiet here. Just went back in there, spent another 3 hours in there messing around, trying to make money. Very loud in there. There's a lot of stuff going on in the area tonight. So many people were in there, and the casino had flipped their switch there to make all the blackjack tables 6 to 5, or a lot of them. 000 roulette, crapless craps. They have every corner figured out. Every little scam is figured out in there. And it was really sad, actually, watching the people trying to understand why they can't make any kind of money, because they got you everywhere. Okay, let me see here. I think last time I talked to you, I had the $21 and $23 wins, and then we took a break. Went and gotten some food. I actually got some nice chicken fajitas again. I did that a couple weeks ago at this place. They're cold. They're in the refrigerator, but they're good. They were really good. Came back and played some slots. What was that last one I had? Okay, I know what it is. Alright. And first session plus 140, and went and got on the list to play poker again. And came back around. I was like 5th or 6th. And then I was 7th. And then I was 8th. And then I was 9th, and then I was 10th, because all the people who called were up on the list ahead of me, so I was getting further and further away, so I was giving up. Went back to slots again, and made another $119. Went back to the poker area. I'm like 5th or 6th now, but the room where they have the pot limit Omaha is full. There's only so many tables in there, and they're all full. I'm like, well, they have all these 1-3 and 2-5 tables they want to open up. They're probably going to get those opened up first. And I was really pretty much giving up on it, and I was walking away when they called my name to play, and took a heck of a roller coaster ride in there. Actually, I was ahead 180, and I was like, man, I'm starting to get a little bit tired. Maybe I should leave, and I didn't leave. And then I had a hand I wasn't going to play, but I played it. I ended up with the nuts and then got counterfeited on the river, and then had another hand where I had queen, queen, ace, 4 double suited, and the flop had a queen on there, and it was a queen 10 on there, and I raise it, pot, the other guy re-raises it, I end up all in, and I end up losing everything because he rivered a straight. He re-raised my pot raise, heads up, with a straight draw, and hit the straight draw. And then it was like, just in the trenches, trying to get my money back, and working, and just sitting there forever on a very unfriendly table. I'm not talking about like mean people or anything like that. I'm talking about people who were like, I don't know, not the best people to play with. One guy was complaining every time, see, I only got this much because of the rake. Okay, well, you know what the rake is when you come in here. And then this other guy to my left, who won that big pot from me, he kept on taking smoke breaks over and over again. The guy on my right kept complaining that it was too expensive. It's like, another guy was almost all in all the time because he wouldn't call an all-in bet. He'd get down to his last $50 or so and then add on instead of having a rebuy, so he could add a little bit more on instead of the full amount. And so it was just one of these tables that I wasn't very comfortable with, and I knew it from the beginning, and I probably shouldn't have stayed from early on. I did end up coming back and leaving ahead $8, but it was not comfortable. So slots wise, first session 140, second session 119, third session plus 17, and fourth session plus 55. So whatever that equals, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, about 900 maybe for the day. After all that, 900, really disappointing. And the other thing that I was planning on doing did not go through, fell through because of timing. So we're gonna have to redo things and we'll start over. I gotta rethink the concept and figure out the best way to do it, and we'll get it done next time. So it's definitely been a long one. I left home about 15 hours ago, almost 15 hours ago, and I got hundreds of miles home, so over 200 miles home. So it's going to be a long one, but I'll come back here in a little bit once I get going, get on the main roads and stuff, and we'll talk about some other things that happened. Alright guys, I am back. Just stopped for some fuel again, and this gas station that I go to a lot is a newer gas station, and so they have lower prices to entice people to come there, and I think they kind of overdid it and bit off more than they could chew on it, because at this point they have so many customers that I don't think they can really keep up, and I don't think they have enough fuel. Lots of times, just like now, one of the fuel levels, one of the different types of fuel, I think was running low, and it was going so slow, like 0.01, 0.02 gallons, 0.03, that slow. And when I pulled up, there were two trucks sitting there. One, the guy had gone in to pay for gas, and the other one was pumping gas. And when he finished pumping, he gets in the passenger side of the truck, and a girl comes out of the back seat with a baby and goes into the gas station, and they're just parked there for like minutes. Meanwhile, the other guy's pumping and pumping and pumping away. Finally, I get kind of annoyed. I get out of my car. I back up all the way close to their bumper, and I start pumping gas into my own car while they're still parked there. Well, the gas is going incredibly slow, and turns out the guy on the other side is experiencing the same problem. So I hung up the pump, and changed to a different level of fuel, and that one worked a lot faster. And then the guy next to me was saying, "Man, look how slow it's going." He thought it was funny, but he was going to be there forever. When I went inside, because I bought a few things, they told me that he had prepaid $100. That was going to take him forever. I mean, it took me like 2 minutes to get 1 gallon. So if he's doing 50 gallons, he's going to be there a long time. So anyway, I told them again. I've told them before that they're having a problem with it, and they said they would get it fixed, but who knows? Let's see. Okay, so I want to talk a little bit about blackjack today. So most of the day I couldn't play blackjack because it just wasn't possible to play with the people who were at the casino. So this evening I was going to play, but they had converted a lot of the regular tables to 6 to 5 tables. You remember maybe 6 or 8 months ago, maybe longer, I had mentioned that I'd gone into a casino and they took the 3 to 2 off the table and they put it on the little screen next to the table. Well, they did that so they could flip a switch and they could change it to 6 to 5 anytime it got busy. And a lot of the tables tonight were converted to 6 to 5. Well, the high limit ones were not, but they were either busy or they were $200 minimum, and I didn't want to do that. So I ended up not playing blackjack again. So it's been like 2 weeks, I think, since I played blackjack, and it's very annoying because to me, blackjack is a lot easier way of making money than anything else, only because you dictate the amount of money. When you're playing the machines, the play might be at 50 cents, or it might be at $5, or it might be at $10 a spin. But when you're playing blackjack, as long as the casino can support your bet level, then you dictate how much you want to bet. I want to go 100 to 1,000. I want to go 50 to 1,000. I want to go 25 to 125 or 25 to 250. I can do whatever I want as long as the casino doesn't have a problem with it. But with machines, you can't do that. So I was spoiled for a long time into hit this casino for 5, hit this one for 4, hit this one for 6, and then go home. And I'd be making $1,500 a day a lot of the times, or $1,200, or $1,100 a day. And now I got to fight and scrape and scratch and everything else for a little bit of money. And I just spent whatever I told you earlier, 15 hours, whatever it was, either driving or playing, so I could make less than $1,000, and it's very aggravating. But I got a lot of time to talk to some friends of mine today too, and I'm working on a deal right now. A lot of my day today was spent waiting for this deal to go through, and it didn't go through quite yet. We're working on something long term that could be beneficial for me and another party, but we'll see what happens with that. So at this point, until the play is over, I'm not going to mention what I'm doing. I'm just going to say if we're winning and how we're doing, but that's all I'm going to say, because I don't want it to go away. So I don't want to be like that and like get your hopes up and then not give it to you. But at this point, I'm going to have to just keep silent about it and kind of tell you how it's going until it's over. Hopefully it's not over for a long time. Just like this play that I'm hoping I'm going to find in Vegas. If it works out, I can't really mention exactly what it is because I'd be one of the only people probably doing it, if not the only person. And I'm hoping that it's good enough money that it'll support, my bills and everything else that I have to do. And it'll be easier for me to be able to make that money again that I was making before. So anyway, let's do some segments. What did you eat today, MW? I had those chicken fajitas cold. They were pretty good. I'd give them probably a 9 on a scale of 2 through 8. Man, it was like 3/4 of a pound of chicken fajitas. It must have taken me 5 minutes to eat those. I was pretty hungry. I had a couple of slices of cheese, like the little packets of cheese from the gas station. I had some water. I had just a Monster drink, which I shouldn't do this late at night because it's 11 o'clock and I still have a couple hours of driving to do. Overall, did okay, made good money, made what I'm supposed to make for a day, even though it took me 3 times longer than it normally would. And I was telling someone today, that the person I was working on this deal with, I'm not the smartest guy, I'm not the best AP, but I'll work harder than other people, and I'll make my money eventually because I'm working hard. So I may not get every bit of EV the way other people do, but I make up for it in how much time I spend and studying. And I'm not the smartest guy in the world, but I'll work circles around most people. So, and what did you tip today, MW? Today, I probably tipped a grand total of maybe $10, $1 at a time. On the tables that I played, I believe I only played 2 tables today. I get my days mixed up sometimes. Yeah, I believe so. I had a nice run up on the first table and left after like 40 minutes, and then the second table was just a big pain, and I should have left right away. I had like 180. I ended up leaving ahead $8 and totally disgusted with myself because there was no reason for me to be on a table that's not beneficial to me. There's a certain kind of table that I want to be on, aggressive, loose players, and I want to work hard to try to find good hands and try to make quick money and get out of there, and then come back maybe a few hours later if I'm still in town. So we'll see. We are going to travel again on Sunday, so I have a choice to make, to go to one area for one possible play that may or may not happen, it may get killed halfway through the play, or go to another area where I have a little bit better chance, but the people know me more, and so we'll see. I haven't really decided one way or another which way I'm going to go, but I'll decide that tomorrow. And what did you learn today, MW? I learned patience is a virtue. You gotta stay patient. You gotta work hard. When the conditions weren't good on that table, I should have gotten up. I know I was annoyed because I had to wait a long time to sit down, and then it wasn't beneficial, and I should have gotten up. Another choice would have been to take my, quote, lunch that they'll let you have for like 20 or 30 minutes and come back, and hopefully by then the dynamics of the table would have changed, because it was the 4th pot limit Omaha table, and so as people are leaving the other 3 tables, they'd be moving people from my table there, and I could have had a whole different group of people 20 or 30 minutes later. So I got to keep that in mind next time. Right now we're just going to continue on home, and hopefully we make some headway tomorrow in our research and learning and everything else, and make a good plan for Sunday, and I'll catch up with you on Sunday. If you have any questions or comments, my email is mwusa21@gmail.com, mwusa21@gmail.com. See you next time.